Hey y'all, so I am back today. I wanted to talk to you about breaking addiction to suffering. And I know it's a weird kind of title, and people will be like, well, I'm not addicted to suffering. Like who would say that? And I've even been in forums and I mentioned this to people, and they're like, why would someone choose addiction to suffering? But the thing is that this is something that happens on a subconscious level, and some signs of it, just because I know, because I'm recovering from it, is just like when you dream about your desired lifestyle or life, you will like try and visualize it. You'll hear people talk about manifestation. You'll be like, okay, so I'm gonna work on it. I'm going to create it for myself. I'm going to attract it for myself. But then you start to give up, or you can only do like certain meditative practices for so many minutes before these limited beliefs come. Like limiting beliefs like, oh, I'll never have what they have, or I'll never be able to do what they can do. And the thing is that I know that we don't see it very often, but everyone literally starts from somewhere. Like, there are not that many people who are literally born. It's a very small percentage of people who are literally born with like the things that you desire in your life. So the problem is that your subconscious mind, that is like the part of your mind that is not that awake part of you, every day. It's the one like when you're sleeping. What you have fed it and what it's been fed and programmed is that like you can't have really what you want, and so it will try and trick you back into like, you'll be positive, like, oh yeah, and upbeat, like I can do it. And then you'll be like, oh no, I just had an argument with someone. Or you'll start thinking about the bad things that's happened to you, because your nervous system, your mind, your subconscious is like not accustomed to the good life that the other people who have manifested or attracted what you wanted, they already are there. Their nervous systems are accustomed to good things, but yours isn't. And so you'll sabotage yourself. And I know, because if I'm not careful, I do this. And I've come into this knowing of that like since October 2022. I was in meditation. I was like, all these things keep happening to me because I like it. Like, I like the suffering. And this, of course, is only going to be for certain people, but you are in the same boat. You also are addicted to suffering. You like the suffering. You created this. Like, Frederick Dodson, he is creator of reality creation. He talks about, how we literally create. We only talk about how we can create our desires, but we can also, and like the good things, but we also create those timelines and those situations that we don't want. And a good practice that I've been learning from him is just to ask myself, why did I attract this to me? Like, why did I attract this terrible relationship to me? Again, why? And it's not in a way that's like blaming yourself, because I can, again, because of the addiction to suffering, I can fall into that if I'm not careful. But okay, well, I created this terrible relationship because there's part of me that likes feeling powerless, or there's part of me that wants someone to take ownership of me because of my abandonment issues that I dealt with from childhood, or the trauma and abuse that I dealt with in childhood. So my nervous system is accustomed to clinging to someone who is not going to meet my needs ever, right? That's an addiction to suffering. And of course, I'm not a mental health expert. I'm just someone who, I know what it's like to be addicted to suffering and to continue to attract these situations to myself, right? And we can glamorize a thing and act like it's no big deal, or act like, oh, you can't tell someone that they attracted that, but yes, you can, because they did. And if they aren't careful, they'll continue to do it. I know, because that's the story of me. Like, until I got real about the situations that I was putting myself in, I couldn't go ahead and deal with childhood abuse and abandonment issues, and insecure and anxious attachment issues, mother wounds and father wounds. So we can glamorize, like, you know, where we are right now. That's not what we want. Or we can get real about it and fix it. We can get real about it and fix it. And so I think that when it comes to addiction to suffering, the only thing that's working for me is to constantly push my brain, my mind, my body, my environment into situations that are going to reprogram me and really gonna mesh my, like, move my nervous system around so that I can become accustomed to secure environments and situations. Because right now my nervous system, it's adjusting, but it likes the pain, it likes trauma. So it continues to push, even when you say terrible things about yourself, when you punish yourself. When I say terrible things about myself and when I punish myself, that's an addiction to suffering. Like, oh yeah, I have to go low because it's too uncomfortable to stay high, to stay, to keep a loving relationship with myself. And so I just wanted to talk about that. I know it's not like a pretty topic, but I definitely want to make sure that when I'm talking about as an empowerment coach, when I'm talking about empowering yourself, I'm talking about being authentic and real with yourself. Like, we can say all the affirmations that we want, but until we get real about the situations that we lovingly get real about it, this is not something that you need to be beating yourself up for. Like, you literally have power to change from that addictive behavior to, because it's like a drug behavior. Literally, it's like the same brain activity as doing some drugs, making yourself suffer. But you can recover from this too. Like, you don't have to stay there, and you're not alone. I can definitely help you with this because it's something that I am continuing to learn more about, and I am an empowerment coach. And so you can book on the link below. But even if you don't, I just want to encourage you that you can break this addiction to suffering too. You don't have to just have a woe is me attitude, and you don't have to live a life of suffering. Like, you don't actually. All right. So thanks so much for watching. Please like this video, and then please subscribe and share this if you found this content worthy of sharing. Okay, bye.